Welcome to the Whole Athlete Podcast, where we focus on discussing topics to help you become a fat burner, optimize health, and improve performance in life and sports. Transform the whole you from the inside out with the holistic method. Let's dive in. Here's your host, Debbie Potts.
Hey everybody, it's Debbie Potts, and I'm doing a new episode of the Whole Athlete Podcast with some interesting guests on the show today. We've got Eli Kramer, who's going to talk about light therapy and heat therapy, and then Ashley's on the line, and she's going to help talk a little bit also about the infrared wellness pod and body therapy, light therapy at Seattle Sunlight Spa in Bellevue. So thanks for coming on, you two. And
Thank you.
Just to get started, let's kind of dig into your background a little bit. So let's start with Eli. How do you get connected with researching about light therapy and heat therapy? If you can talk about kind of your journey briefly.
Yeah, thanks, Debbie. Thanks for having me on. So a little bit about my background. I'm an internal medicine physician, practiced clinical internal medicine for a number of years. And then decided to sort of move away to more non-clinical work, initially doing some work in the hospital side of things. But then more recently, I got involved with clinical research, specifically on cancer treatments. And so that sort of started my interest in research and data out there. And so initially, the company that I'm involved in was researching new techniques, new therapies for cancer. And then I got involved in looking at other new therapies for other diseases, not necessarily as serious as cancer. But when I got involved looking into this light therapy, including infrared, the idea was, and with my background, I'm a scientist of sorts, and claims about some of these treatments, I was really interested in what's supported out there, what studies have been done to support what is proven and what's not proven for these therapies. And reading the clinical research opened up my eyes to what was out there and what wasn't out there. And I was actually surprised at how much was out there, how much research has been done. And so I looked into some more, and here we are today.
And you are working with, you helped with the Seattle Sun. They went into more of a light spa, and that's in Bellevue, Washington, if you live around here. But Ashley, you're the manager of the location, and you were, they used to do Seattle Suntan, but now it's interesting shift as a lot of people are going into this light therapy. Can you talk a little bit about your transformation of the new light spa?
Yeah, we decided to go with the name change of the Light Spa because we were much more than just Seattle Suntan. And with adding the light therapy benefits in here, it made sense to add light into our name that way. And it's something that a lot of our customers have been asking us for years, about more spa services or weight loss services or aging services. And so that's kind of how it evolved and why we decided to change the name.
So what, if you can talk, Eli, I'm just going to keep saying that, Eli, about the benefits of light and heat therapy, why you got into researching it, you just shared, but why do people need it and who needs to do light therapy?
Certainly. As Ashley was mentioning, there's lots of different light therapies out there, and it's sort of expanding into that business. There are many that are used for purely relaxation techniques, purely cosmetic, and there are some more therapeutic applications. So the idea was to try to look into what was out there in the literature so that the company could be accurate in terms of what they were providing for their customers. The claims that they were making are actually supported by the medical literature. So in starting to look at that, I guess today we can focus on the infrared type of things. This is a different therapy and find that there's actually a number of things out there. Like I mentioned before, there are lots of claims out there. And I can only talk about the things that I've found to be proven in the literature. I want to preface that by saying I have not reviewed clearly every single piece of literature out there, so there may be some things that I'm unaware of. And just because I don't mention it also doesn't mean that it doesn't help those things. But I can definitely talk about the things that I have found that it does help.
Yeah, let's go into it. So let's talk about infrared heat to start. So a lot of the light therapy, I know I've been enjoying different experiences at the salon spa in Bellevue, but the benefits of there's light therapy and then there's heat therapy. Is that into one makes it infrared heat because you get a little bit of both? And can you explain what it is and how it works briefly?
Sure. Yeah, so with light, there's different wavelengths of light and a very narrow band that we can see, the visible lights, and those are all the colors that we can see. But then there are wavelengths that are shorter and longer than that. Infrared are these non-visible to the human eye, longer wavelengths of light. So initially, we were talking about light therapy. There are red and blue LED lights, for example, and those you would see, and they provide certain benefits. But the infrared lights you can't actually see with the naked eye. But these deeper wavelengths actually provide, like you mentioned, the heat. And because they are these longer wavelengths, they're sort of a penetrating heat. So it's not just on the surface of your skin, but it goes deeper down. It penetrates a little bit, about 1.5 inches or so down into the skin to provide heat sort of from the inside out versus from the outside in.
And that's
the main difference.
And that's what I was sharing with you before we started, that my journey this year is to focus on different ways we can transform the whole athlete from the inside out. And we've been talking a lot about the last few episodes on different treatments as cryotherapy and floating and what we can do to, so to speak, biohack, some people call it, different techniques to really take care of ourselves. Because I think we get so busy, and that's kind of the podcast isn't just about exercise to get healthy, that athletes of all levels could benefit from doing a little time out, doing some infrared light therapy, as well as, the dry heat treatment as well. So just continue on again as kind of the benefits of heat therapy and infrared therapy for athletes. And it could be at any level of athlete.
Sure. So one of the main things, because it is a heat, and a DP, some of the studies have been looking at what does this do to the muscles, and these were done on athletes, and they really found that because it is a deeper heat, it warms up the muscles from the inside out. They did find that it does help as basically like a warm-up method. So for athletes who are trying to warm up their muscles before they do a heavy physical exertion, it actually can increase flexibility of the joints, the shoulders, the ankles, and also and just allow sort of a more rapid ability to get a warming up method before the main exercise. So that's definitely a one way to do it. And again, that's beforehand. I suppose it could also help after to sort of loosen up the muscles again, but the studies were done more on increasing flexibility, range of motion prior to exertion. A big thing with athletes is pain. So there have been actually most of the studies have been around pain control, common issue in athletes and non-athletes. And so they tested infrared therapies. And I should mention there's different types of infrared therapies. There's direct applications, such as wrapping the body or wearing certain clothing that has infrared capabilities, and there's just sort of ambient infrared, like sitting in an infrared sauna or a cocoon pod. So some of these studies were done on one or the other. But interestingly, there has been shown to decrease pain in various aspects, various parts of the body. Chronic pain has been treated with this. People with menstrual pains, low back pain, rheumatoid arthritis, even osteoarthritis, and then even jaw pain, temporomandibular pain. And then interestingly, sort of separate from those, there's actually studies that have been done to look at treating diabetic nerve pain. And a nerve pain is sort of different than a muscle or joint pain. So interestingly, that's a large body of literature showing that pain can be helped by this.
And that's
exactly how is it another question, but go ahead, Debbie.
Well, are you speaking your research is more the infrared dry sauna, or is that with the light? Because I'll ask Ashley next. Maybe Ashley, you can say after this, but is it with infrared dry sauna you're finding most of these benefits, or if it is a combination of the light therapy and a dry sauna?
Yes.
What's the difference?
I'm sorry, was that question for me? Or?
Well, both of you. So if you're talking about all these benefits, I'm just trying to clarify for listeners, there's infrared light and then dry heat.
Infrared light. Yep. So there's infrared light, and infrared, I think, is what Dr. Eli is referencing to. He is great, but the infrared is what the studies are on, and the infrared is in both the dry sauna and also in the cocoon. And those are the benefits that both of those services at Seattle Sunlight Spa give you.
Yeah. So then my next question was for you is what different services do you have for that? So you just mentioned the wellness pod, which I have a video we did the other week that I'll post in the show notes of going in the cocoon, which is my new favorite. And if we can talk about that and then talk about the sauna, what other services do you have to help with infrared light?
So those are the two main ones with all three wavelengths of the infrared light, the near, mid, and the far. We do have photofacials that have near infrared in them. Again, though, that's more for skin healing, and it's for anti-aging and firming and killing bacteria with our blue light. So we do have infrared in those two services as well, but it's only one wavelength, and it's the near. But our most used infrared therapy treatment plans are going to be in our dry sauna and our cocoon pod.
Okay. And then does one of you want to review what the near, mid, and far infrared does, the differences of the three? If we can just touch on that again.
It doesn't matter to me. Dr. Kramer, if you want to go over that, you can, or I can go over my knowledge of that.
Sure. Why don't you go and I can supplement if needed.
Okay, so the near infrared, they are the shorter frequency waves, and they penetrate just the epidermis layer. It's good for skin rejuvenation, wound healing, and overall skin health. The mid is going to penetrate a little bit deeper into the body. It's great for increasing circulation, and it's great for stimulating blood flow as well. And then the far is what really goes down deepest, and it heats the body directly instead of just warming the air like Dr. Kramer was saying. It definitely raises the core body temperature, and it helps release toxins. This is where you're going to see a lot of the pain management symptoms subside. You're going to see a lot of the afterburn. You're going to see help with weight management. And again, mostly just pain management with that far, because it is penetrating the deepest out of the three wavelengths.
Mm-hmm. And Ashley, what is the most popular method to do this? Do you find your clients prefer the sauna or the cocoon, and who, the testimonials from their experiences would be great to share?
Most of our clients like the cocoon best because it's an overall wellness experience. You get to lay down. There's a vibrating mattress on that, so it gives you a little massage. There's essential oils in there. It's different heat levels, which is very nice. It's short, it's 30 minutes, so people are in and out, which is very nice. So that's definitely the most popular of them. The sauna does the exact same thing, except for, I feel like the sauna is great for people who don't want to just sit in there and relax, but want the same benefit. So with it being a dry sauna, if someone wanted to work on their laptop while they're in the sauna, or they wanted to talk on the phone while they're in the sauna, they're able to do that with still getting the benefits of the infrared, opposed to the cocoon is a complete relaxation pod.
Well, that's what I like about it. You have your head out of it and your arms are by your side. So you need to disconnect. I always find we talk a lot about stress here and cortisol levels and how to unplug a little bit. I think, it's great to force yourself to just lie there and be still and not be on your phone and let that time be a relaxation time to do a little rest, restore, repair.
Absolutely.
So let's go over, Dr. Kramer, about the benefits we talked about. I'm sharing them on the website, but how the light and heat therapy can help the aches and chronic pain, increase flexibility, range of motion, immunity, circulation, healing, and the aromatherapy. But also, mentioned about all the research you've done, but maybe also the populations for cancer and if you high blood pressure and all of that, I'd love to get into as well.
Yeah, sure. There has been a lot of studies about this. Interestingly, outside of what we were just discussing, like the 4 things you just mentioned, there have been a lot of studies about how it can help because there is relaxation of the circulatory system. We were talking about increased blood flow. One way it does that is by dilating, sort of opening up the blood vessels through some nitric oxide production. And because of that, then there's a thought, well, can this actually help the circulatory system? Can this help the heart? Can it help blood pressure? So there actually have been a lot of studies about that it potentially can help some of those things. That being said, I don't want to advise anyone to on their own to use this sort of therapy to treat their own hearts or their blood pressure with this, but it is something that could be discussed with their personal physicians and considered sort of a complementary treatment if they think it's appropriate. Mm-hmm. In terms of the other things you're mentioning, cancer, whatever else it may be, again, like I said, I haven't researched anything that showed any benefit for that, but I also haven't read everything, and there may be ongoing studies. In terms of who treatments were on, most of the studies, pretty much all the studies that I've read have been done in adults. A lot of them are healthy volunteers. Some of them have certain conditions, like we mentioned, the chronic pain. They have been done in adults. Interestingly, the other question is who should not do this? Because it is overall pretty safe. The main things that I would say are, because the studies have been done in only adults, it isn't recommended for very young children, for example, below 6 years of age. As you get older, there's a issue with heat regulation, because even though this is less heat than a traditional dry sauna, there is still some heat, and some children may have trouble regulating that heat until around puberty time. So in general, it wouldn't be recommended until sort of later in the teens, in early adulthood. And then the other thing that you definitely want to put a warning on for this is that in pregnancy, this can be an issue, especially in the beginning, the first trimester of pregnancy. So I would, recommend avoiding this in any pregnant women as well.
Yes, high heat. So how high of temperature does it get in the cocoon and the sun? I think you guys, what sauna, Sunlighten spa, dry sauna in there. So Ashley, you can probably answer that one. What temperature do you get to, and do we get sweaty? And also a common question would be, how clean is it? How do you keep up with sharing other people's sweat or not sharing sweat?
Yes, they do get up to 192 degrees dry heat. So that feels very different than 192 degrees out somewhere on vacation or something in an oven. But they're not guaranteed to make you sweat either. It is a dry heat and everybody sweats a little bit differently. And so person A might not sweat in the pod or the sauna at all, and person B could sweat out a whole entire gallon of water if they're a profuse sweater. And so we definitely don't guarantee sweating. We have supplement products that can help you sweat, like body suits that you can put on that help your body release toxins and sweat and those kind of things. But afterwards, after every session, they're completely sanitized from the top to bottom, side to side, every inch of everything with a disinfectant that kills everything. And that's how they're sanitized.
So Dr. Kramer, what type of research have you done on the benefits of sweating? That seems like that'd be part of this, that people feel like to go in that sauna, go in the cocoon, the wellness pod. Is it sweating that we're trying to have any benefits from that?
Yeah, in the research that I did, actually, you'd say it was separate from sweating. I know there may be a separate body of literature regarding that, and individuals, as Ashley was mentioning, individuals have different responses. So actually, so the benefit of what I'm saying is that this was independent of sweating.
Okay.
It wasn't a direct correlation between how much you sweat and the benefit from, reducing pain or increased flexibility. Because again, this is sort of the internal heat that was causing the benefit. So yeah, not too much on the sweating in the research that I did.
Okay, great. And then for people with injuries that aren't able to exercise, like I just happened to go in when I dislocated my toe walking in the dark into the wall the other night. And it was great because I couldn't go go for a bike ride because I had to let this foot heal. So for exercising alternatives, is there any benefits for athletes who can't go exercise or people have an injury to go use the infrared sauna or the wellness pod, the Cocoon?
Not that I've seen.
Ashley, have you had any examples of athletes coming in besides myself of doing the therapy for helping them stay healthy? Or sometimes you just feel like you get addicted to those endorphins and getting your heart rate up and getting a sweat going on. So you find any people feel like, not that it's official research, but just from their own experiences going there when they are not able to go to the gym, maybe they have a back or a knee or foot injury that they're not able to do weight bearing exercise because you're just lying on the table. Is there anything that people might feel like they feel better afterwards or they did something?
Yeah, I could definitely say that people feel better after they do it. And there is some calorie burn that's going to happen in both sessions, and it does track your calorie. But as far as using it to replace a workout, I wouldn't say that we have any feedback on that. And we definitely don't recommend that either. It's more as your intermittent service or something that you're going to do on your rest day where you still want something going on or you do want some recovery and that kind of stuff, but not necessarily to replace a workout at all.
Well, and that's what we talk a lot about lately and why I'm focusing on this kind of this repair cycle type of treatment and recovery is that we, as type A, most of us, competitive athletes, that we like to train hard and a lot of people don't recover harder. And so that's why I'm trying to share these different services that we can do to improve our recovery time and improve our performance because we're giving ourselves more time off of hammering out another run or hard, intense interval training or CrossFit or whatever people do. But I think of this as a great rest day. If people don't like to be still, maybe it's going for a walk and then doing this on a recovery day and add this into their routine. Because I think it does help at a cellular level, but also it feels good afterwards when you're done. And if you can help that recovery process of your body recovering from your workout, I think it's beneficial as well for myself.
Yes, I definitely think I agree with that. I agree using this as it definitely will help speed up recovery from breaking down your muscles at all. So that's definitely how we talk about the pod and the sauna is great for recovery.
And looking at the website we have on the video version of the Whole Athlete podcast today, the red light body therapy, it says it reduces visible signs of aging, improves skin complexion, stimulates circulation, reduces inflammation, and speeds up healing process. So I think if people have any type of injuries, that would be beneficial to them as well. As reducing the visible signs of aging is always a big one for myself.
Yeah, we generally hear, and Dr. Kramer can speak on this a little bit more if he'd like to, but we generally use red light therapy for more of the beauty side of it, reducing the signs of aging and that kind of stuff. As far as pain management or wound that they had for healing, we definitely would recommend Cocoon or the infrared sauna before we would recommend red light therapy.
Okay. So
I agree with that.
Okay, good. Well, so then when people come in and they've heard about infrared therapy or light therapy, how do people get started? That might be a good one for you, Ashley. The process of, it's more of a spa type of environment back there, which I like, more spa music and to relax, because I think relaxation is a big one, stress management for most people. But kind of walk us through the experience that how you'd start someone new at all this and what should they do when they're starting?
Yeah, they should come in. One of our consultants will talk to them about any issues they're having or what their goal is from the session. So if they're coming in for pain management, if they're coming in for relaxation or stress management, whatever they're coming in for, we're going to qualify the customer and we're going to give them whatever service is going to be best fit for that. We will show all of the customers everything that we have to offer here at the Light Spa. So that way they are completely educated of what we do here. And then after that, they use their session and we decide what the best regimen is for them, and whether it's a membership for them because they're going to be coming in often, or maybe it's just a package of sessions to where they can come in as they feel they need their rest days or they need the recovery. And that's kind of how we get you started.
Yeah, I definitely think, getting a little taste of it, the infrared dry sauna it sounds hot. I think it was 130 degrees when I was in there, but often some people say they do 150, but it's not, like you said, it's not hot feeling. It's dry heat. It's comfortable to sit in there and try to relax and stretch maybe while you're in there. And would you do that and the cocoon, or 2 different days or once a week? How frequent should we be doing this?
That's pretty much up to you. I wouldn't do the 2 infrared services back to back. We can do an infrared service a day. So you could either do the pod or you could do the sauna for the day, and you definitely could stretch. And then you can pair. What's really nice about our infrared services is you can pair them with anything else that we do have back in the spa. So maybe you want to come in for pain management. We can get you in either the dry sauna or we can get you in the pod for the session and help pain management relax you at that point. And then you can also add on a photofacial if you want some anti-aging benefits, or you want to clear acne, or we have some other weight loss benefits with the MyLipo or teeth whitener. So you can do an auxiliary service with any of it. And, you can come in every single day if you're really trying to heal something or you feel the need to do that. But it's really personal preference on how often you are in here if it is for pain management, stress relief, relaxation. If you're doing it for more of the beauty, we're going to ask you to come in multiple times a week.
Good. So one of you might be able to explain the cycles that are in the wellness pod and the infrared sauna. You can choose different ones. So like there's detoxification or cardiovascular. Can either one of you discuss the options and the benefits?
Yeah.
Pick one or the other.
So there are going to be 5 different settings on the pod. And each one is going to be for different reasons that you're coming in for. So there's going to be a power nap for people who just want to come in at a low heat and take a quick nap. There's going to be a relaxation, which is going to be a little bit higher of a vibration for massage. It's still going to be low heat. There is going to be a wellness setting, which is a medium heat. And that is great for just overall wellness. If you have light pain, if you're really just looking to heat the core, if you're looking to help boost immunity, that kind of stuff. Wellness is a medium heat on that. And then we have the fitness, which is going to be our high cycle. And that's great for athletes who are coming in strictly for pain management and flexibility issues and that kind of stuff. And then we have a high hypothermic setting. And that is great for the extreme of anybody. So it's going to be as hot as the pod goes. If you have severe pain, if you have chronic pain, if you are really looking for, putting on the bodysuit and you're looking to release toxins and impurities and you're hoping to sweat, we're going to put you on the highest settings so you get the maximum benefit of the pod or of the sauna. And those are the settings for that.
And then can you touch on the dry sauna settings real quick? You know those?
Yes. They're based on minutes, essentially. So there is a cardio one in there. There is a pain management one in there. There's a fitness one in there as well. And it's based on minutes. So there's 30 minutes up to 60 minutes. And you kind of get to dictate your heat settings in each one of those based on how fast you want your heart rate or how hot you want it in the sauna. It's a little bit more, it's not as customizable as the pod is.
Okay. Great. And then Dr. Kramer, I know we're running out of time here, but just share kind of what your next step is or journey in following this passion of investigating the research behind dry sauna and light therapy. Where are you going with it now?
Yeah, certainly. As I was mentioning, there's studies being done all the time, researching new areas and then further studies on some of the areas that we already touched on. So I think one of the things would be to continually review, get an update on the literature, making sure that nothing's changed in these claims that we're able to make, and then seeing if there's any additional claims, any additional areas that of therapeutic options, and going from there. And as new devices come out, there might be other types of therapies. Looking into those as well and seeing what kind of benefits those can provide.
Good. Well, thank you for coming on the show today and helping us understand a little bit more about light therapy benefits and heat therapy and infrared wellness pod and saunas. And Ashley, what if people live in the Seattle area, how can they find you? And I think we have a little discount for them. I put in a newsletter blog on the Whole Athlete podcast page, but what can we add into the show notes for people?
Yeah, you could definitely go to our website at seattlesunlightspa.com, and that will direct you to our location, our website, any current offers that we have going on, and then you can use the code that you'll provide your listeners for a discount to come try us out.
Yeah, I think, especially this time of year, we're doing this February, and it's not real cold in Seattle, but it's just, that when it's under 40, I just have this constant chill, and it just been driving me to come over there more often because I just don't want to go for my swim workout. I'd rather go into the sauna and get some dry heat, or the cocoon. I've been loving that. So I know it doesn't replace the workout, but it's better than doing nothing. It just don't want to get in the swimming pool this time of year. So heat just sounds good to sit in that sauna.
Yeah, it's definitely a great supplement.
Good. Well, thanks so much for coming on today. And if you guys have questions, go to wholeathletepodcast.com. You can find us on Facebook. We can ask questions for any follow-up questions on this heat and light therapy that seems to be new research coming out all the time on it. So I'm excited to see what we find out more in the future. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, you.
Debbie.
Thanks for listening to the Whole Athlete Podcast. If you have any questions, feedback, or topic suggestions, let us know on Facebook or at wholeathletepodcast.com. You can help us continue and grow by leaving a review on iTunes. Thanks again, and see you next time.